Bright morning run. Got my sunglasses, but I'm trying to do some without sunglasses so you can actually see my eyes. But my eyes are blue, so they're a little sensitive to bright light, especially since I've been babying them with sunglasses for so long. And also, the cool winter air gets in my eyes and makes them cry. And so it protects from the light and from the wind. And now I'm facing the sun, so yeah, that's better. I'll take them off from time to time. Same with the hats. I like hats, but sometimes I just want to go free. Sometimes hats protect me from sun. Don't need to get burned on this dome. Let's talk about gratitude. I want to know what people are grateful for. I know all the things I'm grateful for. I've been fortunate and I've worked for things to be grateful for. But the key is to work to be grateful for the things that you have and the things that you experience and how your life leads you. It's not all about getting what you want or getting good things, nice things. It's about being grateful for all of the experiences, including the bad ones, including the things you don't have. Have you ever thought about how much we bypass without stopping to acknowledge it? Not that we need to, but it's kind of fun when they do. Like, you're a being going around in this world. Nobody really pays attention to you unless you cause a scene or somebody knows you, cares about you, or you're interacting with somebody intentionally. But for the most part, everyone's going about their busy lives. But when somebody pays attention, acknowledges you, your journey, something, it just makes you feel a little bit more alive, real. At least for people that are seeking that haven't found within themselves or whatever. But that's not my point. My point is acknowledgement of things. And I've had times when, like, noticing a tree, acknowledging a specific beauty of a tree, and then just for fun I'll be like, hey tree, I see you. I don't know if anyone else has ever said in their hearts, thank you for being the beautiful moment that you are. I'll do that with random stuff just to wake myself up from the days that I get in of daily grind, and just stop to, hey, that house, thank you roof for protecting whoever lives there. Just random stuff like that. Nobody really cares that I do that. It's just something for me because my experience is for me. The things I think, the things I do, it's to develop an experience for myself that I prefer of this life. And I prefer to be somebody that slows down and acknowledges things, and a person that has presence for the people and appreciation for the things and the situations that get overlooked. Like, what if a bad thing happening, a car accident, had a part to play in your growth? Like, it was called into your life to help you push through a difficulty in your life. by forcing you to pay attention to certain things, and all you do is curse it. Well, if it hadn't been for that accident. But think about, well, a lot of people struggle to think about, but if you really pull it apart, even something bad like a car accident could, or death in the family, it causes people to go inward, or a catastrophe globally, all those things cause us to reevaluate what matters and what we want out of life and how we want to run it, what we want to pay attention to. Then eventually, inevitably, people go back onto their lives and forget about it, but they don't realize the deeper impact that had, and the fact that it had to happen for that reason. And people think, oh, I could have done this differently to save my marriage, or I could have. But sometimes having that break and that upset is what you needed, and you don't know it until afterwards. Looking back, you're like, I was not in a good place to be married. I had not healed through, and I couldn't in that marriage or in that situation until those things happened. But now that they happened, I've grown so much. I bless that bad occurrence, that negative experience, and it releases it. It's no longer a negative experience. It no longer holds you back. You can't say, well, because I'm now crippled in movement or mauled in appearance, now my existence is so much worse. It only is when you let it be. And we've all had different levels of experiences. The way I like to see it is that, perhaps in a past life I've worked through so many things that, if you have a more charmed life, you can feel like, I must have worked through some stuff in the past lives to overcome that. I'm so grateful for where I am now, having overcome a lot of those difficulties. And for me it does is it makes me think those people that haven't overcome those things yet, they're just, like I said in the earlier video, they're just at an earlier stage in the game, haven't learned some of the tips and tricks. And so I just want to have the compassion for those people going through those experiences still. The earlier stages are more challenging. It's easier once you get all the upgrades. But it's easier for what? For me to just enjoy my life? I mean, yeah, I can do some of this and some of that, but what I really find myself wanting to do is bring joy to the people that didn't have somebody to help them, guide them, help them find their way inside to see their own potential, their own strength, their own beauty. And so, like, I used to drive for Uber, and when I was driving, initially it was because I loved just the driving experience. I loved my car, I loved driving. And then quickly it became about my passengers, because the interactions that we had were amazing. Not all of them, obviously. Some people just wanted to keep to themselves, and that was fine. It actually helped me to be okay with stillness too, because I always wanted to have a positive interaction with my passengers and share my funny or fun stories and hear theirs. And it was great when it happened organically, but sometimes it just felt like it wasn't the right time. Sometimes I could tell that they were in a vibe that just wanted to be left to themselves, or sometimes they were busy on a conference call or whatever. And so I got to get more flexible with the different situations people were in and different backgrounds, and who knows what they think of me. And they're just stepping into an Uber, and they're trying to make a first impression of me. And, you know, who am I to judge? I've been in a position of judging people, and they might still be. And so they might judge me negatively, or just feel shy to talk or whatever. So sometimes I'd open it up for conversation or for connection, but I'm not going to push it when it doesn't happen organically, you know? I kind of learned those skills through that platform. And I just really appreciated my time working with Uber, because now I can see each individual from every walk of life. You know, I'd get some school kids, and then a businessman, and then some mom at the grocery store taking groceries home, and then somebody on their way to rehab to get some help, and then taking a dancer to a gentleman's establishment. And I loved every single person equally. Some people didn't speak English, but they tried, and we had great fun pretending to talk. And I still don't feel like I had a single negative interaction. I had 22,000 passengers. And before that, I worked at a prison. Learned how to love individuals without, pre-knowing what they've done, or, but that didn't have to matter to me at that moment, because what I chose is I wanted to have an individual interaction with an individual that had their own individual situation going on that I know nothing about. And I don't want to know anything about it, because I want to judge them through the eyes of I love you until proven otherwise. And in this moment, for this interaction, I will bring light to your life and let you lighten mine. Because that only does good. It doesn't bring anyone down. It doesn't justify anything that they had done in the past to get there. But working those two positions really put me in touch with people in a way that I don't see people getting to do too often, and really it got me thinking about myself and all the time I'd spent there, and when I couldn't go home to see my kids because I had to work so many hours, and wanted to be with them, but then I wanted to make the best of my day even though I couldn't be with them. And so I wanted to make the best with my time with all these prisoners and coworkers. And you know what? A lot of the prisoners were better than some of the coworkers I had, but I loved them all. And I say better, meaning, better attitude and more easy to start enjoying and getting along with. But I got more flexible by learning how to love people of different backgrounds. And anyway, I feel like in this life, if you find something you're good at and you can share it with people or kind of guide them to maybe find a little more of that in them, the way that I've found a lot more of me in all these people that I got to interact with, that helped me be and become the version of me that I want to be, instead of following nature, which, nature is beautiful, but a lot of it is fear-based protective mechanisms, and I feel like we've evolved past, letting those control the way our life goes. And so, anyway, all I know how to do innately is be me and see you. So that's what I do. And that's why I bring you along with me as I do it. Right now I'm in the early stages. Of figuring out how to do it. or how to be more bold and putting myself out there on the internet. You know, I don't know what I'm doing with this. I don't know how to do videos anymore. I used to help my dad make videos way back before YouTube. Then I kind of dropped off the radar with video production. And so now I'm like, you know what? There's so many beautiful people on the internet making some amazing content that really touches my life. And I just want to give back. I just want to be a part of that culture, that community. I don't know what I'm doing, so I step out, try to think of something in my life that I love and put it out there. The next stage will be to interact with other people, like at college campuses and stuff. Haven't worked my way up to that yet. I feel like it's right around the corner. I'll be going there soon. But I get little interactions here and there, because I want to hear their stories. I want to feel visceral experiences of what people are going through, and you know, feel more that I can draw from them and leave myself wide open for them to feed from. Anything that they can draw from my experiences, they can have it. It's free, abundant. And that's worth way more than money to me. And I can develop that in here. So what am I doing chasing dollars if the currency that's better is oozing out of my pores, you know? And people are yearning for that. They're thirsty. They want love. They want acknowledgement. To be witnessed. They want to know that their life meant something and that they touched somebody's life and were legitimately validated for the experiences they had without victimizing themselves, and seeing the strength grow from those experiences. And so a lot of times I'll talk to people and they immediately go into victimhood, and I get it. The world has been largely focused on victimhood for quite a while. And so a lot of people are just in that knee-jerk reaction of, how can I be victimized next? Here, let's get this guy. I'm going to go over the freeway here. Anyway, I'll go into victimhood, and like I understand it, there's legitimate victimization happening, you know, legitimate predatory or dangerous things that happen, and people are really victimized. Unfortunately, there's a lot of illegitimate victimization too, which really muddies up the water for those that are true victims, and I feel for them. And I feel for the people that don't know that they can stop putting themselves through the torture of trying to be a victim. But they don't do that for no reason. They do it because in some other way they have been harmed or traumatized, and don't know that they're spreading it by focusing on it, and by, well, since this is bad day stuff, this is a bad thing that happened to me, you know, my life is just like that, and oh great, now this happened, and now this happened. And really, the more you live in fear, the more you live in negative, the more you experience of it. So they have the power to take it back if they just know that they do, and start shifting their mindset. And so that's something I've been able to overcome many things with through the years. And because I feel so empowered by having been able to do that, I want to bring that empowerment to others, you know. So that's all I do, is bring my experiences around and say, hey, take from this whatever works for you. But not everything does, and not everyone's ready for every step. But I'm here for whatever stage you're in. In some ways, other people are way more advanced than me and healed, and I suppose. I mean, I've been doing a lot of work on myself, but I know I still have a long way to go. The more I learn, the more I realize I don't know. But the more I realize I can help people with what I do. So, hello. Welcome to my channel. I love you.